I'm John Hall, and I'm an interiors and architectural photographer. I realized early on that I didn't have a real great connection necessarily with people when I was behind the camera. I like talking to people, I like being with people, but when I get behind the camera or I'm involved with the camera, I tend to get into my own head and I suddenly ignore everybody else. So I realized fairly straight on that I wasn't going to be a portrait photographer. I lived in Paris for a couple of years and started taking photographs there with my little Nikon 35mm camera. So I really learned to look at the world in black and white, and that was a lot about form. It was a lot about space. It was a lot about line, and that was just a logical step from architecture. I got by the skin of my teeth because I didn't really have much technique, so I really learned on the job. I always got enough photographs to cover myself. And I think technique is something you build and you build and you build. You build it when you don't even know about it because you're just so used to seeing things and looking at things, and you're always editing and discriminating and saying, well, how can you get a little better, or how can you take this to another level? Your job as a photographer is to make whatever it is you're looking at look as good as possible. Whether it's Louis XVI furniture and extraordinary impressionist paintings or contemporary paintings or what you think is just the best of the best, or whether it's something from a department store, your job is to make this look as good as possible. It's a narrative, so you can't just say, oh God, this is a beautiful detail, I really want to just look at that. No, they need to be able to see the whole room. And sometimes the picture of the whole room is not the exciting image. It's the information you need to figure out where you are in the space so that you can then look at the better design aspects of the room. The best gardens have a lot of design in them. There are a lot of bones that you can build upon, that you can sort of structure your picture around, and it's not just some glob of green. You don't have to be a national thing in order to make a profit. You can actually deal with a very local audience and be profitable too, and you can do very good, creative, high quality work. Designers and architects use things for their portfolios because they're visiting potential clients to show them the kind of work they do. I'm always making proposals to magazines for stories. You can't wait for people to come to you. The bottom line is that. If you've got an idea, you got to go for it. Depending on what field you're going in and the kind of photography you want to do, look at what's being published, whether they're books or magazines or whatever, and read the credits. See who the photographers are and find out how you can get to them. See work that you really like. Say, okay, I'm going to try to make this Irving Penn photograph. You'll never make that, but in the process of trying to make that, you'll do something that'll be you, and you'll say, okay, I didn't get to that, but I got to something that I like. The challenge is to make the best picture you can make.